Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. This is my nutrition assignment by Kyle Winter. Win 16003628. So what is nutrition? Nutrition. This means by which your body takes in energy and nutrients from the food to sustain growth and development and to keep you alive and healthy. There are micronutrients and macronutrients. Micronutrients contain carbs, fats and proteins, which is part of the diet. Micronutrients contain vitamins and minerals. However, fiber and water, which is also part of the components of nutrition, are neither. So, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are slow release in energy. The common person is recommended 50 to 60% of carbs. However, people like Mo Farah, who are long distance runners and need more energy, will require 70%. 1 gram of carbs equals 4 calories in our diet. Carbs is converted into glucose. Glucose is also known as glycogen, which is stored in the blood and stored in the liver. There are simple carbs and complex carbs, but there's 3 types. There's disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polysaccharides. Disaccharides is a sugar composed of 2 monosaccharides. It is formed when 2 sugars are joined together and a molecule of water is removed. These are small compounds which require 2 bonds, but they are still broken down easily. Monosaccharides are any of the class of sugar, for example glucose, that can't be hydrolyzed to give a simpler sugar. This is the simplest form of carbs. Disaccharides contain lactose and sucrose. Lactose is milk sugar and sucrose is cane sugar. Fructose is a part of the monosaccharides and also glucose is. Fructose is all about fruit sugar. On to the complex carbs. Polysaccharides are longer to break down. An example of this is bread or pasta. Bread and pasta both satisfy the carbohydrate needs of the body, which they both contain fiber, which make them more dense and more filling. Right, muscle. The muscles contain 325 glycogen in grams. The liver contains 100 grams, and blood glucose contains 15 to 20 grams. Some examples of simple carbs is sugar, syrup, jam, marmalade, honey, sugar, fizzy drinks, boiled sweets, fudge, fruit juice, and sport drinks. Some examples of complex carbs is bread, bagels, crisp bread, crackers, rice, pasta, noodles, potatoes, breakfast cereals, root vegetables, and pulses. Protein. Protein is a long-term energy source. It is used for growth and repair, and the requirement is 50% of the diet is protein. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. Protein contains amino acids, in which there are 20 different ones. There are 8 essential ones and 12 not essential ones. The body requires all 20, which is also known as protein synthesis. There are 2 types of proteins, complete and incomplete. Some complete protein examples is eggs, fish, and meat, whereas incomplete is bread, cereal, and peas. Fats. The roles of fats are to protect the internal organs, thermal regulation, structural material for cells, storage of fat-soluble vitamins, provide energy, growth and repair, supply essential fatty acids, and for flavour. There are classifications of fats. 1. Saturated fat. This is bad. An example of this is butter/dairy. There is monounsaturated fats, which are good, which are, example, sunflower oil. And there's polyunsaturated fats, which are also good, which is fish oil. Monounsaturated fats help lower cholesterol, and polyunsaturated fats help prevent heart disease. The recommended fat intake is 30 to 35% of our diet. Saturated 11%, monosaturated 13%, and polyunsaturated 6.5%. 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. Some examples of saturated fats are butter, chocolate, fatty meat, cream, and cakes. Monosaturated, olive oil and peanuts, peanut butter. Polyunsaturated, oily fish, sunflower oil, and soft margarine. Vitamins. Vitamins. They regulate the metabolic process, they break down things, they support growth, support the immune and nervous system. Some produce hormones. There are 2 types, water-soluble and fat-soluble. Water-soluble are digested and broken down in the stomach, whereas fat soluble is digested and broken down in the fat cells. Water soluble contains vitamin A, D, E, and K, whereas fat soluble is B and C. The water soluble is stored in adipose tissue, and the fat soluble can be excreted through urine. There can be a deficiency in vitamins, which is a lack or shortage of one of them. Vitamin A helps us to see, which can come from water. Vitamin B gives us energy, which are our fats. C helps us with our immune system, which is also water soluble. D, bone density, which is our fat soluble. And E, muscle growth, which is our water soluble. And K, obviously, are water soluble. Minerals. There are big amounts of minerals, which are macro minerals, and there's tiny amounts, which is trace minerals. Minerals help us bring in the iron in our bodies, zinc, which helps our bone growth, etc. Fiber. Fiber is a complex carbohydrate, now known as a non-starch polysaccharide. It's not digested, it's found within plant cell walls. Fiber avoids digestion by the stomach and small intestine, providing bulk to aid food transit. A healthy diet requires both types of fiber, around 18 grams per day. Insoluble fiber does not dissolve. It prevents bowel disorders, and sources include pasta, rice, whole grain, cereals. Soluble, this dissolves in water and it can prevent the uptake of nutrients, controls blood glucose and the cholesterol. Sources include fruit, vegetables, and oats. This helps prevent and treat certain diseases, for example, colon cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. Water, also known as H2O. Water makes up around 50 to 60% of our body weight. Muscle has a higher water content than fat tissue, so leaner individuals have a higher water content than fatter individuals. Water can transport the nutrients, which is good. It regulates our temperature and aids the passage of food through the digestive system. You must attempt to make 6 to 8 cups a day of water. Fluids is 1,200. Food is 1,000. And metabolism contains 350. For example, in Cosmo, the Brownlee brothers race, and the lack of water made their blood viscous, in which one of the Brownlee brothers fell, in which the other Brownlee brother had to help him. Right. Long distance runners may contain more carbs because they need more long lasting energy. They need vitamins for more vitamin B to help give us energy. They'll need more fats to get a fast releasing source of energy, more fiber and more water. Water for hydration, and fiber just to give us more energy. However, a weightlifter would be different, as he doesn't need as much energy because he's not running as much. His weights will just be lifted for a short spurt of seconds. This means he will need a lot more protein for growth and repair, so he can lift heavier weights throughout. And he will need vitamins for more vitamin E, as he will need more muscle growth. So let's get on to the digestive system. Here is a purpose game, so I can show you the labels of the diagram. So, sorry about that. So the liver is this big red thing here. The gallbladder, this little green thing. The anus, which is all the way down here. Let me click it. Come on. There you go. We have the esophagus, which is this long tube here. The small intestine, which is 6 foot long, as Mega's told me. With the duodenum, which is this little part here. With the mouth, which is up here, obviously. With the pancreas, which is that little speck in there. With the stomach, this long, big yellow part here. And the large intestine covering the small intestine and the rectum just above the anus. And there we go. 100%. As you can see, Meg Teach is leading. So there we go. There's the digestive system. So digestion. This is a multi-stage process following ingestion. This is a breaking down of large chemical compounds done by enzymes in the gut. Smaller compounds are able to be absorbed. This begins in the mouth and grinded and mixed with saliva, which contains amylase, breaking down starch. The esophagus takes the food down to the stomach. Digestion occurs in the stomach. Absorption. This is the movement of digestive food from your stomach and small intestine into the body tissues and the blood. This occurs in the villi on your small intestines. This provides a large surface area of absorption to take place. The network of capillaries which absorb nutrients. There are a network of capillaries which absorb nutrients. Amino acids enter your bloodstream directly, containing proteins, and fatty acids and glycerol are taken up by your lymphatic system. Excretion. This is the removal of potentially poisonous end products from the metabolism, normally within urine and feces. In humans, the main organs are kidneys, as urine is eliminated from there, and the large intestine, in which semi-solid waste is removed by feces. Hydration. This contains hyperhydration, which is decreased hydration, hyperhydration, which is increased hydration, and superhydration, which is an increase in hydration due to aerogenic aid glycerol. Hyperhydration benefits the performance due to efficient thermoregulation. Therefore, hyperhydration is just there to keep your body temperatures right so you don't contain signs of overheating and maybe passing out. Hyperhydration. This is another word for dehydration. There are many side effects to being dehydrated. For example, fatigue, feeling hot, clammy/flushed skin, nausea, head, and then there are severe signs of dehydration, which is a headache, disorientation, and shortness of breath. This can lead to bad performances within your game. Superhydration lower the heart rate and the body temperature. However, it can also cause dizziness, headaches, and gastrointestinal upsets. Therefore, this is also very negative for your performance, as it can distract you and not let you play at your optimum level. Thank you for listening, and I hope I